All right, folks, let's talk about the division of politics. So first thing we need to understand when talking about the division of politics is this claimed divide that is being discussed. Now, the word claimed is put in parentheses. That is for a reason. So do kind of look into that for just a second. I'm not really going to explain where I'm going with that because I want you to kind of think for yourself. But what could be important about a claimed divide, okay, between the left and the right? Now, we're going to start on the left side of the screen, moving across, looking at the left. Okay, the left. When you hear this word talked about, okay, so you'll be in politics, you'll hear someone say, oh, the left believes this, the left is going to do this, I'm a leftist, they're a leftist, blah, blah, blah. When you hear that saying, that simply refers to someone as a liberal. A liberal is someone who favors change. Now, in certain countries, calling someone a liberal is going to have kind of certain connotations. I know in the United States, oftentimes if someone calls someone a liberal, it tends to mean they're a Democrat. Okay, that can vary really in different countries. Not all liberals are Democrats. If you're looking just at the United States, really is going to kind of vary in a lot of different ways. But the big thing to understand, left, liberals favor change. They both start with L. That's an easy way to remember that. The left are the liberals because they both start with L. On the other side, we have the right. Okay, you'll hear someone refer to the right. Okay, they say, I'm on the right. This person's on the right. All these different things right through there. Okay, right refers to conservatives. Conservatives are against change. Okay, they're more traditional, keeping things the way they are supposed to, or they kind of always been. There's a lot of different ways of looking at this, but do understand when you're talking about the right, when you hear someone say conservatives, they're really just talking about against change. Let's kind of keep with the status quo. If it's not broke, don't fix it. That's kind of the mentality right through here. There is a lot more that kind of can go amongst this, and we'll get into that just a little bit, but do understand kind of what is meant by the left, what is meant by the right, what is meant by liberal, what is meant by conservative, and for change, and then against change. Now, also when we're looking at this, we're going to see this thing right through here, okay? Left wing, center, and then right wing right over here. We have within here democracy, okay? Democracy, individuals are voting, picking representatives through different form, okay? On the polar extremes, we have fascism and we have communism, which are both dictatorships. There are other systems that would fall under here. However, these are the ones that are kind of talked about the most, okay? Socialism, liberalism, conservatism, fascism, and communism. Now, it kind of looks confusing. On the previous slide, I said liberals are going to be on the left, but right here we're seeing liberalism in the middle. Liberalism in this sense means something a little bit different. We'll talk about that in class. So for now, don't really worry about that too much because it could get confusing. But understand, communism is on the far left. Okay, so this is like the Soviet Union. Fascism is on the far right. This is like Nazi Germany. Both of those had forms of dictatorships going on, full government control. People really don't have much of a say. We get socialism, we get conservatism, and then liberalism kind of falling in the middle. Liberalism here is more of the classic kind of Greek Roman style of democracy. Okay, so think about like Athens. Back in ancient Greece. That's kind of what they're talking about here when it comes to liberalism. Now, we go on to the next one's going to pop up right through here. We're looking at the economic spectrum and the political social political spectrum. These are spectrums, okay? You're not just one place or the other, either or. You're going to kind of vary back and forth. So the economic spectrum is talking about economics, financing, and the government's role in that. Economic liberals, as it say, favor more broad government involvement in policy making. They favor regulation, so the government is involved in what's happening, making sure that companies aren't doing things that would be considered wrong for individuals and consumers. On the other side, you have the conservatives. Economic conservatives favor more limited government involvement in economic policy and then regulation of businesses. The idea kind of right through here is you don't really need the government to get involved because people are going to naturally do what's in their best self-interest. I'll talk about that coming up in just a little bit. So economic conservatives on one side, economic liberals on the other. Now when we talk about the social political spectrum, you're also going to have liberals and the conservatives. Okay, social and political liberals favor limited government regulation on individual behavior. Okay, so previously on the economic systems, liberals favor more government, or a liberal meaning on economic favors more involvement of the government in economics. On the social political, it's less, okay, compared to conservatives. Social and political conservatives favor more broad government regulation on individual behavior compared to economic conservatives, which want less government involvement in economics. Okay, so it's kind of like they almost switch in a weird sort of way when it comes to looking at the social and political spectrum. So things to understand: economic, liberals want more government control, conservatives want less. When it comes to social and political, so like the social life kind of individuals, liberals want less government involvement, conservatives tend to favor more. Now, we're looking right here on the ideology grid. You've seen something similar to this when you took the political compass, okay? So this is kind of a way of breaking it down. Going up and down, okay, you have the social and political form. So you've got social conservative on the top, you've got social liberal on the bottom, and then left to right, you've got economic liberal on the left, you've got economic conservative on the right. So wherever you're falling on this one, because you're going to kind of go on both, is going to put you really on where you're at. If you're economic right and socially right, you would be more totalitarian. If you're economically right, but socially liberal, you're going to be a liberal, okay, in this way right through here. Libertarian is left on both. Conservative is going to be economically left, but socially right. So you can see this kind of right through here. Your political compass score will end up on here as well. This is the grid that's used on that one. Again, you can see it right through here. Libertarian left, libertarian right, authoritarian right, authoritarian left. Okay, libertarian, again, is the social one, kind of social libertarian. So that one going up and down is going to be the social, and left and right, again, is the economic scale, as you can see, because you are able to read. Now, this one right through here breaks down virtually every form of politics, political ideology, and philosophy that you can really think of on this political compass chart. Okay, so if we go back to the previous slide, you can see like authoritarian left, authoritarian right, and right through here you can look at different social or political movements throughout time. Okay, so if you look up on the top right in the blue square, okay, the top left of the blue square, you're going to be seeing Nazism, okay, fascism right up there. So Italy, fascist Italy under Mussolini. We see Vichy fascism, France, when it was controlled by the Nazis. Okay, if we're going down to the bottom one, we're going to see like green libertarianism. We're going to see dark enlightenment, okay, objectivism, neoliberalism, some of these different kind of forms. We're looking on the bottom left. We're going to see things like Gandhiism, okay, based off of the philosophy of Gandhi from India. We're going to see liberal socialism. We're going to see social democracy. Okay, if we're going up a little bit higher, we're going to see things like Laborism. This is a political party very prominent in Europe. Okay, the Labour Party. We're going to see things like Leninism. Okay, based off the philosophy of Vladimir Lenin, not Joseph Lenin. Okay, Vladimir Lenin. Titoism from Tito from Yugoslavia. Stalinism on the top right. So you can kind of see these different philosophies and see really where they're at. So if you look at the political compass, you can kind of, where you were at, you can kind of zone in a little bit more and give a name to where you ended up on here for the most part. Again, you could kind of disagree or agree with some of this. There is a little bit of leeway either side, as is always the case with the social sciences, but that is really the political spectrum going across. Questions, comments, please let me know. Otherwise, I will see you later, and good luck.